Hey, this is Alex, your municipal manager out on the town with 17-year veteran Derek Yohman. Hi, Derek.
Hello.
And Robbie Ratcher.
How you doing?
We're out to do a segment to see a little bit of what these guys are doing in the community to protect and serve. So let's jump in the car. Yep. So like I said earlier, I'm here with Patrol Officer Derek Yohman and Robbie Ratcher. Robbie's a new hire, just joining the Monroeville Police Force recently, about a couple weeks ago, Robbie?
Yep.
And it's exciting because, you know, both of you are involved in the career of really fulfilling part of Monroeville's major mission, which is to protect people and property. So I'm thankful to get this chance with you all in the car today. Derek, you've been here for 17 years,
Yes.
correct?
Yes,
And,
long time.
Did you serve in other police departments before you got here?
Yeah, I worked part-time in a couple small departments, and then I was in Harmer Township part-time for about 2.5 years, then I was full-time for 5 years there before I got hired out here in Monroeville.
And talk a little bit about serving here in Monroeville. What was it like going from the three departments to one of the largest departments here in Allegheny County?
It was a big change. The departments I started working in, I was the only person on duty at any given time. I didn't have any partners, any backup. I had to rely on neighboring communities. And then I started working out here where we have at least 5-6 guys working a shift. I think 4 times the size of the biggest department I worked in before coming here.
Yeah, and so what's that like? I mean, every day you're coming into work and you have assigned territories, correct?
Yeah, we have you're usually in a different patrol zone every day.
And today you're doing training.
Yes, I'm a
here.
field training officer.
So what's that like in Monroeville? A new person comes on, do they spend a couple days, a week? How's it work?
They actually spend a month on each shift, riding in the car with somebody, and then they spend another month on each shift individually, total of 6 months. But the second half of it, they're in a car by themselves, and their field training officer kind of shadows them.
And it's like a probationary period as well, right?
Correct.
Not to make you stress, Robbie, but it's like, you know, part of it is not only to give the training, but to really test the fitness of the individual to make sure, you know, they're really ready to serve and protect here in Monroeville.
Yes.
So you're doing evaluations throughout.
Yeah, as an FTO, after each shift, I complete a daily evaluation that I give to Robbie here, the trainee. And then they hold on to them until the end of their probationary period.
And of course, it doesn't end there, right? A new officer comes in, and annually you guys have all kinds of training requirements, including the use of firearms or testing and understanding nuances in the law. How's that work for you all?
Well, the first thing we do annually is we have state-mandated legal updates. It's 4 classes we have to do that are dictated by the state of Pennsylvania. We do and they usually have legal updates as one of them. Aside from those, we have quarterly range training here in the department. And during that range training, we do defensive tactics, which some refer to as hand-to-hand combat type stuff, firearms qualifications, taser qualifications.
And again, we're right now nearly 50 officers. That's the goal we want to have, and support staff to help that. So you mentioned before about the training with Robbie. I like the idea how you do different shifts and a lot of different guys. So you're not the only guy involved with training or onboarding the new officers. How many field training officers do we have here in Monroeville?
I mean, there are at least 2 or 3 on each shift that are the certified FTOs that have been through the training for it.
Excellent.
So right now, when Robbie goes to 3 to 11, he'll be with a different FTO on that shift. Then when he goes to the midnight shift, he'll be on a different FTO on that shift.
As we pull up here to where we're going to stop, traffic is obviously a big part of your day.
Yes.
Are there times of the day where it seems the accidents frequencies are higher, or is it you just never know any given day?
I mean, it's pretty random, but I think you could say during the peak traffic times, which are usually morning rush hour, afternoon rush hour times, just due to the volume of traffic, you're naturally going to have more opportunity for crashes at those times.
We're about a mile east of the Pennsylvania Turnpike in Business 22 and the Parkway East, one of the busiest intersections with Route 48 and all of the Turnpike system. We're just behind us is the Golden Mile Highway off-ramp to go north on Golden Mile Highway. So I just wanted to get out here with Officer Yohman to just get a sense of the traffic that we have to deal with here in Monroeville. Monroeville has a daytime population of about 28,000 according to census, but about 50,000 people probably find their way driving through and so forth in our community. On any given day, we have accidents that are reportable, we have accidents that are not reportable. What's the distinction between those?
So as far as a reportable accident, what the state deems a reportable accident is anytime a vehicle requires towing or a person involved in the crash is injured.
Okay, so how many reportable accidents do you think you might see in a week's period on your shifts?
Sometimes you get lucky, depending, because we switch areas every day, so sometimes you get lucky. When you're in the areas where the more heavily traveled roads, I mean, you could see anywhere from 1 to 5 any given week, and sometimes more than that.
And when it comes to traffic accidents, I mean, I'm always amazed when I'm hearing the radio. They seem to happen when it's sunny and dry, as well as the weather.
Yes,
it's just always
yeah.
just isn't a weather issue or whatever.
No rhyme or reason, I think.
Yeah, and what are you seeing out there? Is it impaired driving, distracted driving, aggressive driving? What's kind of behind a lot of the accidents we have here?
A lot of it is aggressive driving, as well as distracted driving.
Okay.
And not necessarily meaning people on their phones. People just don't pay attention anymore.
Yeah.
And it's easily to see.
It seems like maybe the safer the cars have gotten, some of those things, maybe they're listening more to things or paying attention to other things because the car just seems to drive itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last couple weeks, I've had a couple reportable crashes where the damage to the vehicle surprised me to where nobody in the cars had to go to the hospital or needed to be transported to a hospital for any reason. Not injured at all.
And that's remarkable because despite all of the safety features, nationally, in the last year, fatalities increased in the United States and in Pennsylvania, which was amazing given all of that technology.
Yeah.
And in the 17 years that you've been serving here in Monroeville, are things the same or they seem to be growing when it comes to accidents?
I think a lot more of them are reported. I mean, because you figure when I started even here 17 years ago, not everybody had a cell phone at that time.
Yeah.
Now every driver has a cell phone, so even people that aren't involved in crashes are calling the police anytime they see a crash. So I think we're getting dispatched to a lot more of them.
Yeah.
Because if it's a minor crash and the 2 drivers pull off the side of the road, nobody's hurt, both vehicles are drivable, they're not required to call the police. They can just exchange information amongst each other and then leave.
But the good thing is, depending on what else is going on in the town, we have officers on shift who will make their way there if there's other priorities.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Just as we wrap up our time together, anything about your service here in working in the community of Monroeville? What do you like best about serving here in Monroeville?
Something different every day, I can guarantee you that.
So from a police officer standpoint...
That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
You're not doing the exact same thing all the time.
Talk a little bit about your team. You have 40 some other coworkers, and what's it like?
Yeah. You got to learn how to deal with a lot of different personalities in a bigger department.
You're not all the same.
Oh yeah. Thankfully, no, I can only speak for our daylight shift because those are the guys I work with every day, and I see more than the others.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see them at shift change, but a lot of us on daylight, even outside of work, we're close friends. We hang out, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it keeps us a tighter department that way.
What makes Monroeville great is the longevity of our officers. It's amazing how many of these officers have served a good part of their career. Their dedication to the community, their knowledge of the community, and as Derek, as you're just saying, their commitment to one another. You've been through a lot this year with a couple officer-involved shootings and a couple of our officers actually being shot.
Yes,
what has that been like for you as a team?
I think it has solidified us in some ways.
Has it made you think a little bit differently of how you approach your day? And
yes and no, because if I came to work every day worrying about that, I would never be able to come to work.
Yeah.
I would never be able to come to work.
Yeah. And from a team standpoint, it's pulled you closer together.
It has, but like I said, we over the last 5 to 7 years, we've become a closer department because a lot of the younger guys that have been hired are familiar with each other and known each other from other departments they've worked in, as well as we got a handful that have all went to Gateway High School together and graduated maybe within a time frame of 5 years, so they all knew each other and at one time or another hung out together.
Well, the great news is both of those officers seem to be making their way back to serving the community.
One has just started back now in uniform.
Excellent.
It was on the road yesterday.
Well, on behalf of the other staff here in Monroeville and the elected officials in the community, I'm really appreciative of what you do. And it's an honor, to get to work alongside you. We wish we could express more our appreciation because of the way our building's laid out or whatever, but I can tell you overwhelmingly the people of Monroeville are very thankful for the Monroeville Police Department, and the staff that works alongside of you is very thankful as well. Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Keep up the good work, Derek.
Thank you.
Thanks. We want to tell you about our Memorial Day coverage. If you can't make it out to catch the parade, MMTV will be streaming it live on YouTube and our cable TV channels. Following the parade, be sure to stick around for Memorial Day ceremony from Crossroads Cemetery, also live on MMTV.